From here, I'm just gonna mute because my mic's being fucked.
First thing is said. Is it? Okay. So, Emmett, the scene comes upon you as we open up this new episode. If you'll recall, your walker frame is powered down as you were ordered to turn it off when you surrendered yourselves to the internationalist, Fuyuki specifically, although you don't know that's his name yet. Inside your cockpit, it's quite dim, as pretty much the only lighting you have available to you is the emergency power lights, which are, a very dull red, like a submarine's.
Hmm.
Otherwise, the monitors in front of you are basically blank.
I imagine it's very disconcerting because we can't see where we're going, but there's a sensation of acceleration and deceleration.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. In an hour like this, Emmett, what are you thinking?
I think with an hour like this, um, there's a lot of replaying the events that happened just a short time ago in his head. Switching the firing controls to the front seat, aiming at uh, Philippe's walker frame, and pulling the trigger. And I think that this is sort of punctuated by like the ticking of like a watch or like a pocket watch. Probably not a pocket watch, just a normal watch, mechanical, hand wound. Um,
It's a diver's watch on your flight suit because you need one of those.
mhm. And inside the cockpit, whenever there is not talking going on, probably all that can be heard is the two sets of breathing and the ticking of two different watches.
Actually, you can hear behind you and then scratching in on a notebook.
Well, you don't waste any time.
Beats just sitting here.
Yeah, probably. What is it? Anything good?
No, it's not my best work.
Well, let's hear it or see it or whatnot.
Uh, on the fields, fate. No, wait, I screw. Fate giveth. Wait, no. Yeah, I got nothing.
Well, I'm sure given a bit of time you'll iron it out.
I.
By my guess, we've been moving for. I mean, well, not my guess. I know how long we've been going, but y- insert number of kilometers here based on how we've been accelerating and for how long. Hard to tell which direction though.
Your guess is as good as mine.
What do you think they're gonna do with us?
Hell if I know. Wasn't this your whole idea?
I mean, I didn't. I didn't think the major would get shot down. Um,
As you say that, Emin leans over the seat to look down at you with an eyebrow raised. Really?
yeah, I I thought that it he'd get stopped from killing the prisoners, and then we'd drive off the Reds, and we'd have a chance to talk to him. Um,
Emmett, If you didn't kill him right then, and we pushed back the Reds, I'm pretty sure you and I would be brought up on charges.
He would have seen sense.
It's not about sense, Emmett. Bishop was a major. You and I are second lieutenants.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we've heard the stories of what they do with prisoners. At least this is the IVA, I think, not the NLF. So I guess we've got better odds here.
You know, as you say that, Emmett, the ground shakes as it seems like you have made it to some kind of ship.
All right. What do you think? How do we play this?
No
Keep our guns away.
Whatever happens, you and I cannot be separated.
Right. Do you have any zip ties?
Why would I need to have a zip tie?
I'm gonna look around in here for like any kind of zip tie or cable tie.
Why?
To make it a pain in the ass to separate us, like out of character.
I see.
Um,
Alrighty, I'll just let you have a zip tie then. Sure, why not?
yeah. They were initially designed for wire harnesses and airplanes, so I figure it wouldn't be an unusual thing to have in here.
I see, okay.
So,
I'll allow it.
Emmett will fish around in like, an in-cockpit tiny repair kit for a minute. All right, give me your arm.
She offers her left arm.
I guess he takes his right arm and he's gonna like sort of help me out with this. Try to like sort of feed the cable tie around, probably around like it'd have to be either the elbow or the wrist. Those are the two narrowest points, I think.
Wrist. Let's just go with wrist.
Wrists. And sort of after a bit of finagling, pulls the cable tie tight as the ratchets sort of click into place one by one.
Then
Probably won't stop.
Emin brings up both of your hands and says, well, and she looks down at your right hand. Despite today, you're never much of a shot. And she gives you a smile.
Yeah, well, that's what you're for, isn't it?
She brings up her hand and, waves it at you. Other hand waves it at you. Fuyuki.
Yeah?
You've brought down this strange machine into
I have.
floor of the Bienno Rosso as you see, fleet rifles as their job is ship security. Gather around it. They're armed. They don't expect much of a fight, but they can't rule it out entirely. So they're ready.
Yuki wants to be there when the cockpit opens. So he's like leaving his walker frame as soon as possible.
So I'm curious, how is it like, how have they brought it in? Is it lying on the floor? Is it like, I know it's zero gravity.
It's lying.
It's probably just floating there. If anything, Fuyuki might have kind of shoved it into one of the other now empty slots in the hangar, if that makes sense, like next to his. But as soon as he's in, he powers down his walker frame. Maybe he doesn't even power it down. That's how much high on anticipation he is. Opens up the cockpit and just kind of drifts down. he positions himself in a manner so he is, because the cockpit's open like bottom up, right? That's how they swing.
Yeah, swing bottom to up. Yeah.
Okay, so Fuyuki positions himself in a manner where he is floating upside down, gun drawn. Should whoever be in there attempt something violent, they won't like have a couple free shots at his legs before he notices. Um,
Yeah. So you
his
put.
other,
Yeah, you got your
mm,
revolver out.
yeah, his other hand on the axe at his waist. Um, and he just kind of shouts, "All right, I want guns out of your hands, floating in the cockpit next to you, I suppose. Open up. Make a move, and I put a bullet in you."
Fuyuki,
Yeah.
one of the fleet rifle turns to you, says, "Comrade Lieutenant, it's powered off."
Can I
I'm
hear
talking
from
about.
in there?
No, not a word.
You can't open the fucking. You can't open the fucking hatch.
Well, I'm sure that there's a manual crank or something, but
You
what I
know,
asked is if I could hear you.
as you say that, you see one of the fleet rifles go to the manual emergency open.
Look, Fuyuki played this moment out in his mind. He's not particularly concerned with the actual mechanics of how this works.
Fuyuki wasn't gonna let a little thing like sound dampening get in the way.
Of him making a dramatic moment, yeah. But yeah, as the there's it's pressurized in here, right? There's air, I assume,
Yeah.
because they're talking. Fuyuki has taken off his helmet. So as the cockpit opens, you see Fuyuki floating upside down, holding a gun barrel in your face, and
Flanked by, I don't know, 5 fleet rifles. Full
When the
power.
presumably not upside down.
when the cockpit opens,
You do in fact
like,
see a, thorn of bayonets pointed pretty much directly at you.
yeah. So my question is actually, does it open slowly and mechanically, or is there like is it pressurized under, hydraulics or pneumatics and sort of like hisses open?
It hisses open. Let's just say that.
All right. And then there's a thicket of bayonets alarmingly near to Emmett's face.
Well, more like
Uh,
the direct vicinity outside the cockpit door.
yeah,
There's like 5 dudes with
Because
full
because the
powered
thing like
rifles,
swings out
plus
yeah.
Fuyuki with his revolver pointing all
and upside
directly
down for Yuki.
Um,
into the cockpit.
well, Emmett didn't hear your ultimatum before. Uh, so
You hear someone enter say, "Surrender. Or all of your weapons."
gotcha. He's gonna reach down with his left arm to his holster, unbuckle it, and sort of in the zero gravity, send his own revolver sort of tumbling end over end out of the cockpit.
As you both see a pair of revolvers float on out.
Fuyuki still keeping the barrel level towards Emmett's face, just kind of stares at him for a moment. Just holds the eye contact, and then he speaks.
Emmett's still wearing his
Oh,
helmet, I think.
yeah,
And
So
that's fine.
because
I don't
Emmett's
think he
wearing his
cares.
helmet, uh,
Hmm.
you cannot see his face.
All right. I mean, I don't think Fuyuki really cares. You can see his
Mhm.
face, which was what was important to him. Uh, and the gun barrel not budging. He just says, "So clearly, you can see I'm not a girl."
Well, look what the cat dragged in. As a
Oh,
resident comes floating through wearing a apron and carrying a loaf of banana bread.
Oh, hello, Rasivin.
Comrade Captain, you see one of the fleet rifles nod.
He looks over at the prototype and nods and goes, well, 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 if it isn't the misled, misgendering misfit and the malevolent murder machine making a man marry through meritorious action.
What?
Fuyuki blinks.
Slice of banana bread.
Huh?
He yanks his bayonet out and cuts a slice for Emmett and Emin.
Fuyuki writes himself, so he's floating, relatively speaking, correct side up now.
Good job, my boy. He pats you on the shoulder. That was an excellent sortie. You recovered so many of our people. Good comrades
Thank
who
you.
can rejoin the fight because of you.
Thank you.
You more than made up for your mistakes.
Thanks. Thank you.
Now, you, on the other hand, have made quite a mistake, haven't you? Though it may be a mistake that is the best of your life. Must say, it takes guts to murder your CO in the federal chain of command, though it seems to be all the rage these days.
If they could see Emmett's face, because I don't know if they've pulled his helmet off yet, he would be dumbfounded if they could see it.
Men, get these helmets off them.
How do the fleet rifles, how much manhandling goes on,
Quite.
Comrade Director?
Quite a bit.
So as as the helmet comes off, we see Emmett with his sort of slightly curly, medium length, sort of dark brown hair. What does it's been a while since we had Emin described. What does she look like again?
I've never said brunette. Just I'm just saying this off of this brown hair, brown eyes, straight.
Well, aren't you two straight out of the white man's burden?
A what?
The what?
Rasivin said, aren't you two straight out of the white man's
No,
burden?
Emin says what? She
Oh,
doesn't. She doesn't know what that is.
It's
Neither
a
does
long
Emmett.
story, but we'll get to it in your political re-education. After all, you're the newest pilots of... Oh, what are we calling ourselves these days, Fuyuki?
You mean the ship? You mean the IVA?
That's it. He snaps his fingers.
Well, yeah, then welcome to the IVA. Fuyuki
Fuyuki,
smiles.
hug them.
What?
I said hug them. I will not repeat myself a third time.
Fuyuki just kind of shrugs and floats towards them.
Is he sane?
Me? Him? Which one of us?
Emin turns to
Both
you,
of us are
Emmett,
him.
and says, I don't think so.
Perfectly
one with-
sane. Now, please embrace the lieutenant, soon to be captain, for this triumph.
Captain? Okay.
There's just like a lot of confused blinking going on right now. But I think that with the backdrop of a lot of men with bayonets and rifles quite nearby, he sort of looks side to side and then I guess extends his opens up his left arm because his right arm is zip tied to Emin.
Strangest group hug you've ever seen.
There's a flashing of cameras, and Rasivin snaps his fingers again and goes, I can already see the headline, and he throws his hand in the air as he looks up to the ceiling in air quotes of the hangar. Cronian defectors eliminate promising young federal officer while rescuing prisoners of war and rejoining their comrades in the IVA, where they always belonged. You've been undercover for a while, comrades. Welcome back.
I told you would have a place here. And Fuyuki smiles.
I think that Emmett's expression goes from confused to kind of sour.
For
Oh, don't
Ras,
have that look on your face. After all, this is how I'm going to save your lives and turn you into heroes. And communism needs heroes, always. Congratulations on your victory, comrade Jumpship.
That's a good one.
Isn't it? He smiles
Yeah.
at you for you and kind of pats you on the shoulder. As far as history will be concerned, you two were always good communists, and you did what you thought was necessary finally. And in doing so, again, you eliminated a thorn in our side. What was the name of that shithole of a fort, Fuyuki?
Baker's Point.
Yes, you killed the man responsible for that. Did you know that was one of our only defeats on the line?
Yes, I'm all aware. Quite the plan.
What happens if I don't go along with this lie?
He kind of tilts his head. Well, I suppose there's always room for laborers. After all, you, if I'm not mistaken by the records I have on the personnel of your ship, he leaps through them, are a Cronian. What would that make him, Fuyuki, legally speaking?
What exactly do you mean?
I know
One of-
thinking is a difficult task for you sometimes, so I'll elaborate. You would make him a traitor to the people of Saturn.
and then
yes.
and guffaws. Please, we're federal
What?
citizens. You can't just execute us.
Yes, I can. I have plenty of footage showing you participating in exactly that, and it's oh so interesting what the right cuts can achieve. And Fuyuki here would be happy to space you.
Oh, yes, I would.
And
Would any of
spares-
you object? And he looks to the fleet rifles after what we saw. Well, I'm not hearing any objections, so it seems unanimous. So, comrade Jumpship, what will it be?
I didn't mean to kill him.
And that's not how history will remember it. That's the funny thing about history. You know, one of those Terran scholars once said something. Everyone has an angle. Everyone's either insane, a liar, or an idiot. And here's the thing about history. It doesn't matter as long as the future is built. So, you can either build the future on the battlefield, or you can redeem yourselves through labor. Democracy made manifest. After all, you're right. We're not federals. We're not just going to shoot you out of hand. We're not just going to space you. There will be trials, evidence will be brought before you, but rest assured, you will be going to a labor camp or you will be redeeming yourselves through fighting on the front line. And I suppose, Fuyuki, how much do you think the Federals would like to have these two back?
Oh, probably quite a bit, considering the person who they were responsible for eliminating.
Oh, who was he again?
Major Philippe Guerrero, sir. Apparently one of their darlings. Youngest
Right.
male major in the Blues, I believe.
Youngest male major in the Federation's history, from a promising political family with including admirals, diplomats. I think he was even third cousins with a chancellor once. Oh well. Anyways,
His last name was Gare. and he
gay, queer, it doesn't really matter. Now then, as we were
and
saying,
before everything went wrong, he was trying to make sure that your people got out of there safely.
well, good for him. We'll mark it down as a note in his biography in the footnotes. But that's where he'll stay now. You ensured that.
Fuyuki looks
Emmett
a
looks-
little bitter
Emmett
for a
looks-
moment at that
Emmett
comment.
looks sick. He looks like he feels ill.
Emin says to you, Rasmus, you are one sick, twisted motherfucker.
No, not really. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm offering you a chance to save your lives. I could send you all back to the Federals, and how many good comrades willing to fight do you think we'd get for them for you?
Oh, probably quite a few.
How much do you think we'd get for this prototype machine they brought us? Or should we keep it and rip it open to find out its secret?
I mean, I'll be entirely honest with you. He turns to Emmett. I brought you back for two reasons. One, you can actually keep pace with me in a fight, which means you're a half-decent pilot. And you're Cronian, which means, you're not blue scum. You're just a little confused, I guess. Reason two, if we had to shoot the pilot, which, I suppose was always an option, or, cave your skull in with my axe, or any number of ways of executing a pilot who didn't want to cooperate, I'd have a brand new machine to poke around with.
See, that's the part you are lacking here. Perspective. If we hand you over to the Federals, they'll shoot you out of hand. And it'll be worth it, because we'll get hundreds of our own back for your 2 lives. I guarantee it. But that's what a sick, twisted individual would do, wouldn't they, Fuyuki? Trade lives like currency?
I suppose.
Fortunately, we don't really like that concept around here. So instead, I am offering you a chance to participate in the greatest democratic experiment in human history and redeem yourselves through your mistakes, either through your labor for the betterment of the people, or through your obvious skills as pilots against the people who would, quite frankly, kill you out of hand at this point. Let's not to mention the fact that the Blues are in total disarray and what's going to happen in reaction to that. You see, we're on a timer now. Any army in retreat begins to grow desperate. Desperation breeds atrocity. We are on a schedule. We have a schedule to keep. You can either help accelerate that schedule and directly save the lives of potentially, ballpark estimate, Fuyuki, millions of Cronians.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right. Millions of
Or
your people, might I add.
you can keep being whiny federal bitches, and I can send you home, one way or another. Slice of banana bread, and he offers it out to them again, smiling.
Entertain my thought for a second. How close is Rasivin?
He's kind of arm length, like he's cut the slice and he's kind of flung it offhand.
Oh, God.
Because 0 grav, so it's like floating towards your...
The intrusive thoughts.
If you do a thing, Fuyuki will do a thing, and this might get interesting.
One,
Do it.
2,
Sickos.
3,
Sickos.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Emmett?
Rasivin
Roll
mental dominance
composure.
succeed.
No, actually, Rasivin, you see Emin jerk forward to try to sock you in the face.
Fuyuki's grabbing Emin and, tackling her against something, or,
So if
trying
you're
to
tackling
restrain her in
her,
some way.
I'm getting... The physics of this has just become a physics problem.
This has just become a physics
actually-
problem.
And the solution is by fleet rifle.
Actually, I was just about to bring that up.
exactly.
Fuyuki, I would like you to roll an opposed roll against the fleet rifle.
Oh, okay. What am I rolling?
Please, crit melee.
Okay. Let me roll 2d6. That is a target of 10. That is 6 successes.
5 successes. What do you do?
I think as soon as he sees her snap into motion, he will kick off the catwalk, and just sort of use the force of momentum to knock her back. And this gets complicated in my descriptions because Emmett is also there.
Yeah,
But
he's
I think
attached by the arms. This is getting really complicated really fast.
I
Razavin's
think
just laughing as
Fuyuki
he watches.
Yeah, I think Fuyuki is going to like wrap an arm around her neck to kind of hold her in a chokehold, and then
So there's really
with
only
his
one thing to do here, which is like if I'm getting swung around by this tackle and you're going to for a chokehold on my co-pilot, I
you
gotta
didn't
roll
let
some
me
stuff
finish.
I'm bad at.
You didn't let
So
me finish. Um, because I think as he's holding her in a chokehold, he's going to pull the revolver from his belt, click off the safety audibly, and like jam it up against her back, and just hiss, "Don't fucking move."
how does she respond to that? I think
Well,
is the critical question here.
well, I suppose there's nothing left to do. You're all kind of up shit's creek. As Emmett, you are brought down to the ground, and I, I'm not going to embarrass you by forcing you to roll against the fleet rifle's 5 successes.
Yeah, I mean I've got a grit of 2. My melee's 3, so it'd be a target of 5.
Yeah, you need to
Grit
crack.
5, melee 5, baby!
Rasvin comes over after the fleet rifles have secured the situation with Fuyuki and just kind of places a piece of banana bread on each of their heads. Emmet and Emin. I could make do with good dead heroes as well, you know. I think you would really understand that. But I suppose perspective, if you had had perspective, you wouldn't have been blues in the first place. What to do? What to do? They technically
I
tried
didn't
to
choose
assault
where I
me.
ended up. Fuck you.
Fuyuki, is that true? Did they just attempt to assault me?
Yeah, they did. To which I
Does
stopped them.
that not technically revoke their protected status? He turns to the fleet rifle.
I think it
If
might,
you
yeah.
if you use that logic, you're just like him. You
No,
hate
they're
him.
ontologically evil. Anything we can do against them is justified at this stage of the war with what we've seen.
You haven't really left us with much of a choice, have you?
No, we haven't.
That's the beauty of democracy. When the majority has already ruled on something, it gets done. And, what was the majority's will for you?
The majority's will was you either surrender or you die.
Bingo! Rasivin smiles again as he leans down. So, enjoy your banana bread. Feel free to stay zip-tied to each other for a while longer. And, I'll see you at the briefing.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, Fuyuki,
Yes.
ask some mechanics to leave some suggestion mechanisms in that craft. After all, we saw what happened when one commanding officer turned their back on these two. Hmm?
Understood. And he smiles again. I can do that.
Well, have a blessed day, comrades. May the Buddha be with you. God bless. Inshallah. See you around. Enjoy the banana bread. Fleet rifles, and escort them to their rooms. Oh, and
You
Fuyuki,
forgot Shalom.
he waves it idly. He doesn't really seem to be listening to you anymore as he floats.
Fuyuki lingers there for a moment, just kind of looking at the both of them as they're restrained, wordlessly, for a couple of minutes, or for a couple of seconds. Um, and then he just says, there's not many people around my age here. I look forward to working with you. And he smiles and kicks off.
Well, I guess it's be a good hero or be dead now, huh? He looks to Emin.
Well, she brings up her left hand again. At least we're together.
Yep. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this.
Emmet, as you and Emin are brought to a room, you are essentially thrown inside an empty officer's bunk, and the fleet rifle turns around as he says, "There'll be 2 guards standing out here at all times. If you need anything within the immediate period, I'd open up the door and ask. You are not allowed to leave. There is," and he points over into the corner, "a bathroom right there. Book club is not on this week and will not be on for an additional 2 weeks." Always stuff in VC text. Anyways.
Book club?
Naturally. And he pulls out a book, hands it to you.
What is the book?
On the matter of the spacers.
How thick is it?
330 pages of actual content with probably like 40 of, footnotes and appendices and such. This month's economic history.
What language is it in as he flips open the cover?
Inner.
Okay, good. Emin can read it too.
And then the fleet rifle leaves you with the book.
Well, I guess we have nothing better to do.
And as you open the book, you get to reading to pass the time.